Derek Carr, who needs everything to be just right if you want to
That's
see
right.
him back on the field.
That's right.
Here he
Just right.
was talking about a potential return to the NFL after that heartfelt retirement that he gave less than a year ago. But here was Derek Carr on the Homegrown podcast talking about his potential return.
Would I do it? Yes, obviously. Would I do it for anybody? Absolutely not.
Nope, there's no way. I know from experience in the last couple months he would not. So stop calling unless you're serious. Unless you're trying to make a run at this thing.
Yeah.
Right? The confetti falling,
Listen.
the Lombardi in the sky. That's what we're after, okay?
Yeah.
That's what we're after.
So would I do it? Absolutely,
Yeah.
I would do it. I told you two things. I'd have to be healthy, and I would want a chance to win a Super Bowl.
That's two pretty
And
good
obviously,
factors.
that's a tough thing to find. That's hard to do. That's not easy.
Can we just cut the crap, dude? Like, you didn't want to play for New Orleans anymore, so that's what last year was about. And now you want to come back, all right? And it's like, but it's got to be for a team that can win a Super Bowl. Oh, like, okay, man. Like, welcome to every gambler's life. Hey, I would love to know who was winning the Super Bowl next year. I could make some money on it. Like that. Like, there's no guarantees on any of that stuff. So, the teams that are in need of a quarterback, I mean, you're not going to find a lot of teams in need of a quarterback who are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Like, usually the Super Bowl winning teams have their quarterback. They've figured it out. Like, that's why they're in the spot that they are. So this idea that, like, it's got to be this perfect scenario and this perfect setup and it's got to be, you know, a chance to win a Super Bowl, how many of those are there?
Can I ask you a real question? How much was Carr missed this season?
I mean, I don't know. Not all that much. I don't.
Not all that much.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about him that much.
We didn't really talk about him.
No.
No, like potential returns or anything like
Well,
that. Just
I mean, in real time when the announcement came out, and
Yeah.
then you started to look into the details a little bit more. You know, we were on the show saying, "All right, yeah, he's coming back," because it was, well, he needed surgery and he wasn't healthy, but you know, the Saints really had no idea that he needed surgery on something, and then he waited to get the surgery, and then there was this story about he didn't want to, you know, make all this money while he was recovering, and whatever, however they wanted to frame it. It felt like he was always going to come back. He just didn't want to play for New Orleans anymore, so he was trying to find the correct way to exit the place without being a jerk about it. But as far as the season goes, I don't know. I mean, I think they like what they got with Tyler Shuck. Like, Tyler Shuck played really good, especially down the stretch. And so the Saints are looking at it going, all right, well, if the future's now, then let's see what we can do here with Tyler Shuck.
I look at this and I do not look at it. Obviously, we didn't think very much about Carr this season. It just was not what it was. I do not see him. Could he be someone who comes in and participates and contributes and potentially has success as a guy? Sure. But how much of a success? I don't know. I just think the youth movement is underway, and there's no real reason to, you know, if you're talking about the way he's positioning it is correct, Jonas, because without demand, you cannot be a supply. So him sitting there saying, well, if it's not a Super Bowl opportunity, and this, that, and the other, you know, forget about it. That's just basically, to me, that's just code word for, man, nobody really wants me. But if I can maybe possibly create a market, then maybe this thing could potentially work out for me in a positive way. Maybe. Yeah, to me, that's how I see this. I don't really see this as, like, is he serious? Yes, I think he is serious. I think that he would come back and he would play. But I think it's more about, is he wanted versus does he want to come back? Like you said, he did want to play for New Orleans. Didn't appear that he wanted to play for New Orleans. Who did want to play for New Orleans? But with that being said, well, I'm just saying. But with that being said, I mean, there's also the understanding and the idea that the season did move on, and it moved on without him. And so to me, at this point, it's a matter of is there a team that, like, maybe it's Minnesota? We always say maybe it's Minnesota, right? Like, until you get an answer with McCarthy, it's always going to be, well, could it be Minnesota?
So here are the teams that I think you could make an argument for Derek Carr. But there, again, it comes down to his, well, I'm not going to just play for anybody. I want an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. So if you just go in the same division, the Dolphins and the Jets, all right, not only are neither of those teams going to win a Super Bowl, it's more likely the LA Clippers would win a Super Bowl over the Dolphins and the Jets. Okay.
Damn.
Like that's where we're at with those two teams. So if those are teams that Derek Carr would potentially have an opportunity with, they don't meet his criteria of being worthwhile to go back to because they're not going to compete. And he loves, we heard the soundbite last week. They love, Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is, a good dude, all that's. But, dude, the Jets are terrible. Why would he want to go back to that? And he already had conversations with the Jets a couple of years ago before he went to New Orleans. So,
Right.
he chose. That's why Aaron Rodgers ended up with the Jets and why they did that whole deal. So Derek Carr had conversations with the Jets years ago. It didn't work out. So he knew back then. And I got news for you. If Derek Carr hasn't been paying attention, they've only gotten worse. So whatever you saw then, don't worry about it. Nothing's improved. It's only gotten worse. So you've got the Dolphins and the Jets. The Browns. Are they a Super Bowl contender? No. Like the Steelers, it appears that, Rodgers is going to come back, or at least that's what some of the reporting is, that Rodgers is more likely to come back now with Mike McCarthy. And then you just look around the league and you go, I don't know, maybe Indianapolis, but do they want to do that again if they think Daniel Jones isn't going to be ready to go? There's just not a lot of options. The only team that may need a quarterback and could potentially be a Super Bowl team is the team you mentioned. That's Minnesota. That's the
one that makes the most sense.
And there's been reports out over the weekend that Kyler Murray is a target potentially for Minnesota if they were to make a trade. What's clear in Minnesota is that they don't believe in J.J. McCarthy, clearly. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the market. So if it was Minnesota, I could understand it. Other than that, I don't know what Super Bowl contending team in need of a quarterback would meet his criteria other than the Vikings.
It's a very, very small list. Plus, you can't guarantee anything, right? So to even say that to begin with is kind of, like, what does that really represent? You know what I mean? Like, it has to be a Super Bowl, like, caliber team. Like, what does that even really represent, Jonas? You know what I mean? Like, you can't, like, their run could be over. Like, think about it. Like, there's no guarantee that just because you have one of the best receivers who, by the way, had a very, very down year, there's no guarantees in looking at this roster and saying, this is it. This is the Super Bowl roster. Like, that's not – it's not realistic to put that on somebody. And I know, like, Tom Brady ruined it for everybody. He ruined it for everybody because he made it seem like that should be commonplace, that you go to a team, they're ready-made to win a Super Bowl. Right. Like, you didn't put any of these teams in the Super Bowl this year. So pick a team. Go be the quarterback. Go figure. You're the catalyst position. So if you're telling me you don't think this team is good enough to go to a Super Bowl, it's you. You're the issue if you don't want to go play there.
That's why I said, like, you can't – it doesn't really make sense because any team that's a legitimate Super Bowl team has a quarterback. That's why they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. So the only one that even comes close is Minnesota. And you mentioned Tom Brady – and the only other guy I can think of when you look at it and go, well, he went somewhere and immediately they were competing for Super Bowls was Peyton Manning. But we're talking
Right,
about
in
Peyton.
Denver,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're talking about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Like,
But it's because those quarterbacks are that good. Like,
Yes.
be clear, ready to
Yes.
win
Yes.
Super Bowl teams. You're basically saying they're missing one piece,
Right.
or maybe two pieces, but that quarterback himself can actually fill the bill of what that missing piece would potentially be. And that's what you got with Tom Brady, and that's what you got with Peyton Manning. So I think he's trying to create a market for himself, because I don't think that there really is a hot market for Derek Carr right now.
now, let me ask you this.
Okay. All right. Give it to me.
Derek Carr or J.J. McCarthy? Who are you more confident in next year?
Derek Carr.
And he didn't even play last year. And he may not even be healthy.
Sticks picks.
Yeah. I don't know. I still don't know if that's bees buzzing or if that's just a car flying by. Is that a plane? Is that what you think it is, Lorena?
Yeah, it just sounds like something's coming down, like he's got a big foot. That's what I see.
Oh, wow.
Well, he
Yeah, let's hear it
does.
again.
Sticks picks.
You smashing it. You know what I'm saying? You hear it squash
Oh.
underneath your foot. So it's
Oh,
like
my
a
gosh. Squashing it.
Yeah.
He does have big feet.
Oh, wow.
He does.
Man, look at what I'm doing. I'm laying it down.
Laying it down.
No, not anymore.
Whew. No. Hell no.
I'm out.
Brand new man.
Out.
All right, so good. So best of luck to Derek Carr in his pursuit for a Super Bowl contending
Happiness.
team.
Pursuit of happiness, you know? Yeah.